point. What athleticism.
And there you have it, your APTA National Champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, bringing you the 2023 APTA Chicago Nationals, which is the 13th and last stop on the 2022-23 APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus, sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Paddle Pro Infusion, and local sponsors, Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, Wind Trust, and Viking. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Netherlands' #1 player, Mirta Molenveld, bringing you round of 16 action, featuring our number 5 seeded team of Kerry Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia up against Georgie Alexandre and Gussie O'Sullivan. Hey Mirta, welcome. We're so glad you came here from Birmingham today, a close drive, and joining us in the booth for this weekend's action, and welcome.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you for having me this weekend. It's exciting to be here and be among my peers and watch these good matches coming up today.
Yeah, it's going to be great. If you can introduce us, we'll throw the camera out to the court, and just from where they're located, tell us who's who here. Mirta?
So on the ad side, on the far side, with the golden paddle and the black hat on, we got Gussie O'Sullivan playing the ad side. Her partner on the far side, on the deuce side, we got Georgie Alexandra. On this side of the court, on the deuce side, on the right side of the court, we've got Kerry Delmonico. She's wearing a...
Oh, there she appears.
There he is, the white and black jacket. And on the ad side, on this side, we got Lauren Gebbia with the pink hat.
Yeah, Lauren, let's take a quick look at the draw, see how these players got here. So form kind of held through. It seems that there were no real upsets here. Top 16 teams who were slated to advance to this far, I think, got there. Schroeder Cinco had a good win there. Martin Soman Murphy had a nice win in their matches to get a berth here in the 16s. And then why don't you just tell us about the matches these guys had?
So in the first round, Delmonico and Gebbia had a bye, and then they played against Ulrich and Waldenberg earlier today. And then Georgie Alexandra and Gussie O'Sullivan had 2 matches to get here. They beat Caruso and Juan Roy, and then they had another win over Navratska and Nianova. And here they are, pairing up in the round of 16s. They are going to be playing best out of 2 or 3 sets with regular scoring.
We've got a lot of Jersey representation here with Kerry Delmonico, who lives in Summit, New Jersey. Lauren Gebbia's in Nanuet, New York. Georgie Alexandre lives out in Bernardsville. And then Gussie O'Sullivan is from Glen Cove, New York, close by. These guys know each other's games really well. Mirta, I would say that our number 5 seeded team of Gebbia and Delmonico would be odds-on favorite out here. But I think, what we've seen with this team of Alexandra and Gussie O'Sullivan throughout the course of the season, they're good battlers. Let's hear from our umpire for 1 second. think you know our umpire, don't you, Mirta?
I actually drove up with Dave Woodruff today.
Here goes Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, this quarterfinal round match is best of 3 sets with tie breaks. To my right in the deuce court from Summit, New Jersey, Carrie Delmonico, and her partner in the ad court from Nanuet, New York, Lauren Gebbia. To my left in the deuce court from Bernardsville, New Jersey, Georgie Alexandre, and her partner in the ad court from Glen Cove, New York, Gussie O'Sullivan. Delmonico Gebbia won the toss and have elected to receive.
You guys are fun.
Gussie O'Sullivan to serve. The first time, I believe, the team of O'Sullivan and Alexandre have been on the live stream, Mirta. So just that in itself is a little bit nerve-wracking, probably, let alone that this is a round of 16 match in the quarters of Nationals.
You know, I think they had a good season so far. They played each other maybe a week ago. I think they're excited to play them again and get another shot at it.
Love 40.
Yeah, you can see right away
15-40.
O'Sullivan just laying off her serve, putting it in the box, and not giving Gebbia a target to aim for, because Gebbia, just the firepower she has on her return to serve, forehand or backhand, quite amazing.
Game Delmonico Gebbia, they lead 1 game to love first set.
You know, Delmonico Gebbia won the toss, elected to return exactly for that reason. Mirta, a lot of times it's almost better to receive and paddle because, you know, when you're a little bit nervous at the beginning of the match, it's easier to tee off on some ground strokes than maybe on a serve.
I agree. I think the return of serve, you know it's coming in that box. You know it's there. It's, you know, an easy target when somebody comes up. It's a lot of pressure on that serve right away. So
Delmonico to serve. For O'Sullivan and Alexandre here to be super competitive in this match, what do they have to do well?
I think it starts by really getting in these long points. I mean, Lauren brings so much fire to the game, and Carrie is so experienced and has played so many years. Just to make sure they get these points going. They can't lose the quick points. They got to lob deep and just hang in these points long.
The firepower from O'Sullivan and Alexandre comes more from Gussie O'Sullivan out of that ad court, Mirta?
You know, I have not seen them play together, so I'm going to be very curious to see how they're looking for their offense today in the backcourt. I know they both have good forehands and backhands. They both, you know, are good tennis players and have good racket skills.
Really good point, solid point, good transition.
It's a good long point to start the second game.
15.
It's snowing a little bit here today as well, which is going to interesting to see how that's going to develop with the ball and the movement on the court.
We've had snow showers on and off all night. We got a couple inches overnight, a little bit throughout the morning.
15 all.
I think this is supposed to clear out fairly soon, so hopefully it won't be a factor in the match. I love just, you can hear the sound of the ball. It is so crisp. All these 4 women just are such great ball strikers. You can see with Gebbia Delmonico, Carrie Delmonico, the taller of the two players, with the green on her top, green and navy. She's the on-court sergeant. She's the drill sergeant here. You'll see her dictating play, and she'll call switches and their positioning, you know, at the net all the time.
She's played a lot of paddle and
30-15.
knows the game as well as anybody on this court.
Well, as well as anybody, I would argue, in the game. I think
Correct.
she's been around for a couple decades. Carrie's a former national champ with Isla, Maine. She also won Mixed Nash in 2008 with Mike Stulak, her husband. She also won the husband-wife national championship 3 times in 2008, 2011, and I think 2013. She won. This is an incredible thing. Delmonico with Isla, Maine won the women's national championship in 2005. And here we are at center stage, the Nationals, and you have Carrie Delmonico, the number 5 seed, number 1 ranked player in the country, having had won a Nationals in 2005. And that speaks a lot of her place in the game. And, you know, she is a match manager with few rivals, in my opinion, in the women's game.
I agree.
Deuce.
Yeah, big.
Sorry,
Good spot on the drive, and you know, a little shorter overhead, and they took that drive right away.
That'll be an interesting thing. You know, if Alexandra can bring that heat from that deuce court, you know, Gebbia, I think, just misjudged the amount of pop or pace that was going to be on that drive.
15 love. Love.
Something that Carrie does really well is she moves the return around so nicely all the time. It's hard to, as a server and partner, to adjust at times, because she does such a nice job of moving that ball around.
You can see O'Sullivan likes to hit that roller overhead. You can see her, she moves that grip over in Merton.
Great get.
Yeah, nice foot speed. Good court coverage.
30-15.
I think Alexandra couldn't believe her good fortune that ball hung up there so long. And I think she could have just waited one more second before pulling the trigger, just hitting a little more of a controlled shot.
Seem very comfortable on the opposite side of the court. As Georgie Alexandra's just on the ad side and weren't looking to switch back.
So
30-40.
remember that high one I talked about, how she had more time than she thought, and she followed it up with a drive error and then just followed it up with a fault error. And that's the thing about paddle. You know, I think as you earn a higher ranking in this game and you get into like those top 8 players, you just don't see like 3 errors in a row. And that's what, you know, I said to you when we came on here, what do these guys have to do?
Game Delmonico, Gebbia, they lead 2-1.
You know, to be super competitive this match. And you pointed out some real good things. And now as this match is developing, I would say, I think like Alexandra and O'Sullivan, they've got to stick with their roles. It looks like O'Sullivan brings a little bit more of the natural heat from the ad court. I think Georgie doesn't have to force it. She's going to get plenty of looks over there on that deuce court. And I think she's got to hit a high percentage of her drives in the court to make this match real competitive.
Hey, watch out.
So Lauren Gebbia to serve.
Yeah.
Right away in the Australian formation.
Yeah, like a modified Australian, and you'll see these players like move 1 or 2 boards over, and you know, if someone says, teach me Australian, Mirta, you might have 4 different ways that you teach them the Australian formation.
Correct. I think because they know each other well, they started off, you know, most of the time people start off with a regular formation and early on to test and see what happens on the return, but they adjusted right away, probably based on last week's match or 2 weeks ago when they played.
Where did these guys play? Was it in a pro flight event?
I think they had played recently.
Oh, New Jersey States.
Thank you.
So Delmonico and Gebbia played and won the New Jersey States in the top division, played against Georgie Alexandra, but not with Gussie O'Sullivan. Georgie played with Lynn Cairo, and they defaulted going into the 3rd set. They split sets, and Kiro tweaked her hamstring a little bit, and they withdrew. We hope Kiro's feeling good this weekend. She played a couple of matches yesterday in the Fulton Cup. I expect she'll be fine.
That was a good look she created there with that forehand.
And see, she got a great look there. And that's where I just think she has to make them volley. Like, she doesn't have to make that shot that good. And what I mean by that is she's got to make sure she gets that ball on Delmonico's paddle and makes her hit a volley.
Right.
15-30.
Especially as they were shifting over to follow that ball. They're off balance a little bit when you change direction at times. She's got that forehand, so there's always going to be a little opening on that court.
That was a pretty good lob. Got Gebbia well beyond the service line, and Gebbia didn't adjust her overhead enough to clear the net. To your point with Alexandre and O'Sullivan, they're putting a lot of balls in play. I feel like the pace of play, the tempo, they're super comfortable out here on the big stage.
They are. They look calm. So there's been very few quick points so far. They're moving the lobs around.
Go.
This is where you see Delmonico handling the overheads. It almost looks casual for her. She's so relaxed. She anticipates so well. And she has the ability to just kind of wait and hold her shot and see the position of both baseline players before she'll pull the trigger and where she'll hit the overhead.
30-40.
Having played with and against her, I always found that it's a real talent of hers to she doesn't always look at the exact target as she's hitting, so it's hard to get a real feel on the other side of the court where the ball is going. You really have to watch her paddle. She doesn't give it away early at all.
She almost does the look away is what you're referring to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delmonico's positioning when Gebbia serve is just way over to give Gebbia only the far cross court potential to handle the first volley. The rest of it, Delmonico's going to cover for Gebbia.
Right.
And I think that's a great adjustment on the Gebbia serve, which kind of can come and go a little bit on her. And I think, you know, early in this match, just building in some formations that where they're real comfortable is going to be something that's going to help Gebbia really hit a high percentage of her, make a high percentage of her serves.
It takes a little bit of pressure away on her serve for sure. You have somebody helping you with that first volley. It's a great move.
Yeah, great action, good recovery.
And here. They are on the opposite side of the court.
Here.
It's funny, and immediately Gebbia and Delmonico switch at the net.
Here.
Yeah, really good lobbing. Gebbia's
Here.
playing a couple of these shots, 3 lobs in a row, well beyond the service line.
Did you see them switch again just now?
Yeah.
Got Carrie hitting the overheads again.
No. Ah!
That was a very good
Advantage
point.
Gebbia.
Very good.
Oh, how do you miss that one?
Deuce.
Smart return to serve, just a lot of heavy top from O'Sullivan on that return to serve. Just gave Gebbia an opportunity to volley.
Charlie, yeah.
Advantage Gebbia.
And that was a really good serve from Gebbia, just pulled Alexandra out wide a little bit. And again, like, she's got to be careful here because I think Alexandra just needs to limit her driving errors. I like her heavy drive, but I think that's going to be the key here
Delmonico
in
Gebbia
this match.
games are 2-all in the first.
No, it's
Sorry,
1-3.
1-3, sorry.
So we're at 1-3, O'Sullivan serving. We are in Chicago at the Glenview Club. Patty Hogan along with Mirtam Molenveld calling round of 16 women's action. Alexandra and O'Sullivan, in case you don't know, they've earned themselves rankings. They're top 13 in the country currently, and they've had a really solid year in that all their losses have been to the top teams only. They've done a great job of taking out all the teams that are around them in the rankings and lower, which I think is a really good sign of a team on the rise. In Philly, they went out to Kira Medeiros in 3 sets, 6-1 in the third set. Short Hills, they went out to Morgan Sikora, 2-2. Boston, also they went out to Morgan Sikora, but it was in a third set tiebreaker. Tremendous match, Mirta. I'm sure you remember that one. Long Island, they made it to the semis, lost to Kira Medeiros there, 6-2, 7-5. Charities, they went out to Hanish Zabori. And Montclair, the first event of the year, kick off the year, another matchup where they went out to Morgan Sikora. So I think they're doing a great job as a team, moving themselves up through the rankings. And now here's where, it gets interesting when you come up against, one of these top 5 or 6 teams in the country. Probably 8 teams. They just play this game at a different level with their consistency, discipline, and just the awareness of those big moments and how to play those key points.
The other thing, I think Lauren Gebbia and Carrie Delmonico have played many, many years together. They know each other well. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses. O'Sullivan and Alexandra are just a newer team, but had a very good first year together, and I think there's a lot of good things happening with that team. They're close to breaking through and have to continue to believe that they can.
Just a little indecision there from O'Sullivan. It was a great angle. You could see her coming in, and she didn't commit to a backhand volley and got kind of caught flipping her paddle back and forth.
Out.
Game, Alexandre O'Sullivan. Games are 3-2. Delmonico Gebbia in the first.
For over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com.
So overall, great start to this match for O'Sullivan and Alexandre. I think, keeping this close. Like, they're gonna have to keep this match close. And I think Delmonico serving, she holds serve a huge majority of the games. But I'm impressed with O'Sullivan and Alexandre, and they're hanging in here in this match and really I think, playing a really strong match so far. Only thing I would tighten up would be a little bit of the selection on drives with Alexandra, a little bit out of that deuce court. Just keep making them volley. She's getting her good looks. And, you know, you're not going to hit a winner, but you can break a team down with a combination of shots. That's what she's got to just remember here.
When I teach, I always like to think that you don't want to be the last one touching the ball.
15 love.
So looking to force that mistake on the other side rather than going for that big winner and making them hit that ball and forcing a mistake rather than looking for the big winner that just doesn't exist on the paddle court.
Shout out to some of our Jersey peeps who are enjoying the action, and the good thing about being on air is that when you make a mistake, everyone lets you know about it instantly, and that, my gals can come up short on this one. Carol Everton is a great umpire for the APTA. She said that Georgie played with B. Lopez in the Jersey States. We apologize for the screw up. Thanks for catching it, Leslie Stitska. Becky Wolf, thanks for that. Shout out to David Chelson. Everyone's loving the action. If you're not lucky enough to be in Chicago, you can enjoy the live stream action all weekend long.
$30 love. $30 love.
Make it dumb.
40 love.
Come on.
Shout out to Riley Stulak, who's enjoying the action with her grandmother, Joan
40-15.
Stulak, who came all the way from Canada to take care of Riley this weekend so that Mike and Carrie could be out here enjoying the Nationals.
There, she hit that good drive and forced an error on that volley. So almost took a little bit off of it.
And her drive comes from a different place than
Ball.
O'Sullivan's.
Ball.
You know what I mean, Mirta? She has a little different driving technique, maybe a little higher point of contact, kind of hits down on that ball. And just that in itself makes making that first volley just a little bit more challenging. And that's what Georgie's got to remember. Just keep the ball in play. And then, you know, to your point, they're getting deep in these points, and they're doing well with it.
Just continuing to choose the right ball and waiting that there's a good ball going to be coming that they can drive.
And I like that. Yeah, transition started with Alexandra just driving it through the middle. And I think that's all she's got to do out here. And then these guys can level this match. And most importantly, Mirta, O'Sullivan and Alexandre out here, they have no fear. Like, they believe they're going to win this match. They've been so damn close all year long. And they've come up short against some of these top teams. So they really feel like they're right on that verge of having a monster win and breaking through. You know, with a win against one of the top 8 teams.
They need just want to really start believing that they can. They've been so close all year. That's a great volley.
Advantage O'Sullivan.
Not afraid of Lauren's drive, which I can tell you, playing on the other side of it, it's a fast one.
Mirta, was Delmonico up 40-15 in this game?
I believe she did. She got called 1 foot fault a little bit ago.
Game O'Sullivan, Alexandre, games are 3-all in the first.
Tying it up, I guess, right now.
I mean, that was a huge game for O'Sullivan and Alexandra right there. And, you know, that footfall call, to your point, I mean, big swing from 40-15 up to losing the game. And we're at 3-all, round of 16 action from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. In this event last year, Delmonico Gebbia went through the field until the semifinals. They came up a little short in the semis, going out to Medeiros and Rodezno. They, actually, they lost last year in the semis to Anika Nicolescu. My bad. They started the year off Montclair. They lost the semi to Medeiros Rodezno. Long Island, they lost the semi to Cooper Petrini. Detroit, they lost to Kira Medeiros in the quarters. Boston, they lost to Cruz and Rodezno in the quarters. And Short Hills, they lost to Shea and Sutter in the quarters. So a very different kind of year for Delmonico and Gebbia. You know, not what they would have hoped for it. Usually you see them consistently in the Final Four at events, but this year the trend started going a little bit more quarterfinal appearances before being knocked off.
I think that on the women's side, there's just been a big group of women that are all starting to get really competitive. Just a bigger group of women, which is great for the sport. And it just, you know, you don't have an easy match anymore starting in the round of 16s at times already. It just gets a little deeper, and it depends on the day, it depends on the matchups. It's just there's a lot more good teams that are competing.
I think Gebbia's got to do a little bit more with, you know, the balls that are hit repeatedly from O'Sullivan. I think Gebbia's got to work to move her lob around, go up the line, not just lob everything cross court right to O'Sullivan, because O'Sullivan's pretty comfortable with that roller most of the time here.
There you go.
Really good lob up the line from Delmonico. You can see pulled O'Sullivan way back.
She forced her up a couple times with these volleys, getting her a little tighter to the net and giving herself a little more room in the back to lob that ball and get her maybe a little bit more off balance.
Yeah, Delmonico coming in with a lot of off-speed drives. You know, I think she's doing that to try to get O'Sullivan and Alexandra to play a little bit closer to the net, which then will open up more court behind them with their lobs.
And it's hard to read, like I said, Delmonico's, what she's looking to do. Even there, she hit that little half-high lob, causing a quick overhead and coming in right behind it to put pressure. And
But
it's making them hit a lot of balls.
I'll tell you, that last game, that 3-2 game, Delmonico going from up 40-15 to losing the game. So critical here. And you can just feel O'Sullivan and Alexandra. Like, I feel like they're feeling it more now.
It's making them believe that they can hang in there, you know.
40-15.
Now they're up 40-15 in this game. Great hands.
What a sweet shot.
Read the play so well.
Yeah, and that's a great point. She knew what was going to happen. As soon as she saw Gebbia hit that ball up the line, she knew where the next ball was going, and that's how she looked more than ready, you know, to be in position to hit that winner.
Come on! It's a great overhead.
Game O'Sullivan, Alexandre, they lead 4 games to 3 first set.
So just a shift, and you can feel a little bit of frustration coming out of Carrie Delmonico right now, and I think, you know, Delmonico Gebbia walk on this court, as the number 5 seed, they expected to go through this match in a methodical fashion and try to win it in 2 sets.
One new ball.
Well, O'Sullivan and Alexandra didn't get the same memo. They walked onto this saying, this is it. What have we got to do to have the breakthrough win against a top 8 team? And they've now positioned themselves beautifully to maybe pull off a gigantic upset here. I mean, it's way too early in the match. There will be many more momentum swings, but there's been a huge shift. And with that frustration we see a little bit from Delmonico, like all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure right now in this match that Delmonico and Gebbia have to be feeling.
I think with O'Sullivan and Alexandra has been doing really well. They've gotten most points started, and there's not been any quick, easy points for Delmonico and Gebbia. And I think if they can continue to do that, it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen.
So you saw again, Delmonico started with 1 foot in each service box there and simply moved over to get into the point. I love that overhead from Gebbia. Let that ball drop, a little bit of a cutter. But better forehand right there from O'Sullivan.
Love 15.
Little change of direction in the overhead. And
Shout out to Louise Cash and Karen Cash. Saw them at the New Jersey States the other day. Sure, they're watching the live stream. And I'm sure Louise is not happy right now, Mirta.
She's watched probably a lot of these matches. I think she's probably staying quite calm. She's a phenomenal athlete herself. I wonder what time it is in Australia. That's where O'Sullivan is from, right? I wonder if her family is watching.
Oh, I don't know. I thought she was from Long Island. I didn't know she was from Australia.
I think she is. Maybe I just made this up, but
I might have to add that to my intel.
I think it's all how convincing you say it, Maddie.
I think she's really Sullivan, but we're around St. Patrick's Day, so she added the O. Shout out to my buddy Don Henderson, Troy, New York. Hey, Don. Shout out to Emily Greenhouse, one of our players up in Ticonderoga in Glens Falls. Mirta, have you been recruited to a team for Team Nationals in April? Because Emily's playing in Team Nationals. She's our graphics art person, coming up with a great logo for the Adirondack Green Mountain Girls. Come to New Jersey along with, I think, 50 or 60 other teams. Watch out, you're going to get a phone call, Mirta.
You know, I would like to say that I'm almost ready to get back on the court myself. Not far away. I hope she's okay.
Well, we hope so. You're a great player, and I love watching you play. And we've missed seeing you on the court. We're glad you're in the booth for Nationals, but I hope to see you on the court next year.
I hope so too. I think I'll be back. I mean, I'm very close most days. I'm pain-free and ready to go. And just when you play Nationals, you want to be ready to compete. And unfortunately, that was not the case. But to be here with you, Patty, and with all the other people and my friends is great.
It's so fun, and I mean, I love Nationals. Everybody flying in. You walk into the hotel, you look straight ahead at that bar, and we know it's like the show Friends. You just walk in, you can hear the theme music, and everyone just loves hanging out, catching up with each other. My favorite time of the year in paddle.
I agree. Good move.
40-15.
I like the play from O'Sullivan. Can't fault it. She just didn't make that last volley.
Yeah.
There was good communication there between O'Sullivan and Alexandra.
starting to get a little heavier again, Mirta.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's 34 degrees. Only a 6% chance of snow, but we've hit the 6% Mirta.
I believe last year at Nationals the sun was shining. I remember almost playing in a tank top. And here we are in snowy Chicago.
Yeah, you just really never know what March is going to bring for Nationals. I think the players would prefer these cooler temperatures. They don't mind bundling up.
No. On a hot day, it's just hard to control the volleys, and the points get quite different than what they've probably been playing all year.
Such a big point here. I think it's 40-30 on Gebbia's serve.
Game Delmonico Gebbia. Games are 4-all in the first set.
So I think that was the biggest hold of serve for Gebbia this year.
Yes.
I mean, I felt like all of a sudden I could feel the pressure for them. And she had a really solid serving game there.
I like to see O'Sullivan and Alexander. They're continuing to play to win and taking, they're picking the right shots. Putting a lot of pressure on Gebbia and Delmonico at all times too.
Love 15.
The sound of the ball coming off all four women's paddles, quite extraordinary.
I agree.
Again, you see O'Sullivan winding up, her grip's way over. And she just sets up that roller overhead to keep that ball down low all day long. What I like with O'Sullivan, Mirta, is when she brings the heat with that forehand, she comes. It's heavier with more pace, but she also brings a little bit more top. So I like how high her ball goes over the net before it's dipping.
She just changed up the pace a little bit too at times.
Well, that's the advantage of playing with a semi-westerner. Getting your grip way over, you can change up that pace. And, oh my Lord, how many times have I seen Delmonico hit that
30.
shot? She's just crawling all over the net right there and had the perfect angle to hit that ball right into that nick.
It's the overhead before. There was a good overhead and a little shorter lob, creating that opening there.
Another nick from Delmonico. You know, she sets her sights on that.
40.
And, you know, you can't get a nick unless you aim for the corner, which is obvious, Mirta, and I'm sure that's what you say to everybody you teach. But, you know, when it's wide open, you've got to take your shot, and that's where Delmonico can zero in on that nick. I've seen her do it over and over. So right here, I mean, this is
15-40.
gigantic for O'Sullivan here, down love 40, and Gebbia just gave her a gift. I don't expect that Delmonico will be sending a gift. she'll put the ball in play and really, you know, as a player, she'll always put it on her opponent's paddle.
Going.
She changes it up. She'll lob,
30,
throwing a
40.
lob on the return when they get a little too tight or expecting a drive, and
Yep.
the communication between each point to make sure they're on the same page. Right now, you see Delmonico sneaking in a little bit.
You just put a little bit of a different look.
Game, Delmonico, Gebbia, they lead 5-4, first set.
You know, Mircha, sometimes in these matches, really very little is separating these two teams, but at the key points, what happens? Who can take charge? And that's where, you know, I've seen Delmonico, because she's been around the longest of all these players, I've just seen her do it, you know, as much as anyone in the sport. Where she'll take on that pressure moment, you know, she'll go after it. So here is Carrie Delmonico serving, up 5-4, first set, round of 16 action from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. Yeah, Sullivan's got a lob better right here. All of a sudden, she's hit like 11 short lobs right to Delmonico Gebbia in this point. This is a crucial, crucial moment. And this is where you got to air out those lobs. Just exaggerate your technique. Lob it up to the lights. Because all of that is just going to give you so much more time so you don't feel like you have to pull the trigger too soon from the baseline.
Q1 and Delmonico and Gebbia, they're not closing in as tight because they're, you know, they feel like they're in control of the point right now.
You know, the middle stretch of this set, Sullivan and Alexandre lobbed really well, and we saw a lot of points where they pushed Delmonico and Gebbia well beyond the service line. They've got to channel that again right now.
That's going to give them these opportunities to get a couple drives in there and maybe force a volley mistake. There's one.
15 love.
Good energy from Alexandra to tell her partner she's with her. She's bummed that she missed, but they're together. I just feel like O'Sullivan's just a little bit tight right here. Mirta, if you were tight, if you were feeling it in a match, what released the pressure for you? Was it lobbing or driving?
It's actually
30 love.
cranking a couple drives at times and really making sure that I focus on my breathing and keeping my feet moving. Once I get tight, I think my feet stop moving a little bit and slightly off balance to hit those balls. And like for Gussie to see to drive a couple balls more to the right hip rather than the left hip. See if maybe they can get them to pop another volley up or maybe force an error. Right now the drives have been going to the left hip quite a bit.
And the left hip, they're all righties, so when the ball goes toward their left hip, that moves into where they have much more control of the volley versus the right hip, where that's where you can, when they hear the phrase chicken wing, you can chicken wing someone on their volley. Real good touch volley from O'Sullivan right there.
30-15.
It's a good long point, and it was an important one to win that one at this time of the match and in this game.
Yep, and right here, just gotta make sure she puts this ball in play. See, I actually think O'Sullivan could cheat over a little bit to the middle, Myrta, when Gebby is hitting the overheads, because Gebby is not coming back to her backhand at all. She's kind of sliding this ball right there, exactly what O'Sullivan just did. Like, cheat over to the middle until Gebbia keeps her honest with the overhead.
What could happen is Gebbia might think it's open and go for the shot that might not really exist. Very good close on Delmonico.
And just how quiet her paddle was. She just kept her paddle still. I hope my buddy Don Henderson heard that about how Carrie kept her paddle still on the volley. That's what you got to do, Don. Again, a lot of short lobs, and you can just see Delmonico's kind of working O'Sullivan over in this corner.
That was a very good
40-15.
Big moment of the match.
Two set points for Delmonico Gebbia in the first set.
Game Delmonica. Gebbia, they win the first set 6-4.
So we will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the
About a minute, guys.
APTA
Minute break, please.
YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're in the round of 16s match in the women's play between Carrie Delmonico, Lauren Gebbia, and Georgia Alexandra, and Gussie O'Sullivan. And Delmonico Gebbia won that first set 6-4. Myrta, I mean, really a solid set of paddle from both teams, especially from O'Sullivan and Alexandre, number 13 ranked team in the country. Myrta, what do you think about that first set? Anything surprising to you?
15 all.
You know, I think they were up that first set 4-3, had a very close game to potentially go up 5-3. You know, against a top team in the country that have played a ton of paddle together, and just very experienced. It's the little opportunities you have to take them, and but credit to Delmonico and Gabbia for hanging in there and not giving the set away there early on. And they know it's going to be a tough match based on all the results from this year. And
15-40.
So here's the thing. You see what Gabbia just did right there? When we talked about spotting drives, going to the left side of someone versus the right side of a righty, Gabbia did that masterfully right there. And I think they could steamroll this second set if I think Gabbia can get going with that drive. And it's spotting the drive. It's not just driving to make a volley. It's spotting the drive in the hopes that you're getting them, to flip their paddle over their forehand or play a chicken wing volley. And when Gabbia does that, that's when their play just goes to another level.
With Delmonico next to it, she recognizes those plays so early and puts the pressure on right away after Lauren Gabbia drives that ball. So it's making sure they don't give them that opportunity a lot. There it is.
I think Alexandre, she's totally cleaned up. She's reduced her unforced errors big time on her forehand in the second part of this first set. And I think now I need to see O'Sullivan. I think she needs to lob a little better, give herself a little bit more time, get some better looks versus feeding in to some of these overheads that Delmonico and Gabbia love to tee off on when they get the short lobs.
But if you look at
great trailing play by Gabbia right there. Holy crap. That was awesome.
Game Delmonico,
hands
Gabbia,
right
they
there.
lead 1-0 second set. They won the first set 6-4.
See, and that's Gabbia at her best, where she's moving forward and picking spots and just producing a little bit of a volley that sits up there where she can pounce on that one, and you could just see how focused she was dialing, watching the ball. Great execution. Started today at 12 o'clock. Women started out. Ladies first today at Chicago, and we have action throughout the day with matches scheduled all the way till 7 or 7:30 tonight, Mirta.
It's exciting to have everybody here the same weekend, the same day playing, and it's a very good round of 16 match here, and I haven't heard any of the other scores on the other courts, but I'm sure there are some other very good matches as well. This first set took about an hour, and it's usually a good sign of a good paddle match. Long points.
Yeah, and the tempo is really advantage O'Sullivan and Alexandra, believe it or not. I think this is a very comfortable, set so far, and the match is, I'm really happy that they're so comfortable on the big stage here. Shout out to Ann Waldron, who's doing a great job coordinating all the live streaming for the APTA this year, and to APTA President Tiernan Cavana, who wears some of the best looking hats you've ever seen at paddle tournaments.
Thank you, sir.
30-15.
That's Carrie Delmonico serving, and Gussie O'Sullivan hitting the return.
You. No.
I bet all the other matches are even right now, Mirta. What do you think? We've gotten one update. And the score's 5-all in that other match.
And the
I
other
don't even
match.
think we'll tell him who
40-15.
the other match is. No, we'll tell him. Really loving the Gebbia overhead.
You got it.
Really letting that ball drop a little bit lower than, she's traditionally taken that ball at a higher contact point. And as you know, Mirta, a lot of paddle players through the years then develop the ability to wade and let that ball drop really low and be comfortable with a lower contact point.
I think for a lot of the pros that are transitioning into the game of platform tennis from tennis, were taught in tennis to hit that overhead, at a high point and, move it off the court. That's a great drive by Alexandra.
40-30.
Closing in on that.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that she just
Little
went right at Gebbia, and I think that's the second or third time she's kind of broken Lauren down on the volley. And Lauren's got to just keep her paddle head up there, her paddle head above her hands, and there's no backing down. You have two options: you either move forward and volley it, or you leave town and run to the baseline. But if you back off just a little bit, and the way Alexandra hits that ball, that high to low forehand, it gets below level of net. That makes it tough. So.
We're talking about close matches. We just got another update that Hannes and Sabori won the first set 7-6 in a tiebreaker over Halbauer and Jackson.
Halbauer and Jackson. I mean, they survived that first set. Incredible. Halbauer and Jackson, an up-and-coming team on the tour. They a lot of talent. I believe they're out of the Cincinnati area. Heather Props told me a lot about them. Most of it I forget at this point. But really talented players. I believe Halbauer is only in her first or second year of paddle. And, I mean, to take our two-time defending national champs, 7-6 first set tiebreaker, that's quite remarkable.
That is.
Delmonico, Gebbia, they lead 2 games to love, second set.
I have not seen them play yet. I'm hopeful to watch them a little bit at this tournament. It's fun to see new people coming in, and for Hannes and Sabori, it's always a good thing for any team when you don't know the opponent. You got to figure out their strengths and their weaknesses, and they probably didn't have as much information going into the match, so they might be making adjustments as they go.
Well, one of the things that I love about the game and the depth in the women's field is that you have these players who have such a strong rackets background, high level of competition, D1 colleges, and they have no fear, and they're just competitors. So they come out here and they're playing Hannes Zabori. They do not care. They know how to perform, like in a pressure situation, obviously.
Love 30.
A little birdie just whispered some intel into our ear. Did you hear?
I think
15,
last
30.
week at 2 weeks ago, maybe up at the Bourbon tournament up in
Bourbon Ball?
Bourbon Ball up in Kentucky, I had some of my members play the tournament, and I guess they had been telling me about this player, and they watched
15,
her.
40.
Halbauer, she just finished playing on the WTA tour very recently, and I think she was somewhere in the hundreds, maybe. What I
30,
remember.
40.
So her racket skills are probably just as good as any of them.
Really good return of serve from Gebbia right there. I like this, moving around her drives. Whoops, when she gets pulled in the middle, that's where she needs to have a little bit more air under that forehand, meaning she just needs to hit it and give herself a little bit more margin for error. That's what O'Sullivan's done a great job with her drives throughout this match. Rock solid return from Delmonico right there out of the two scored. Force the volley error. Good adjustment. Make Gebbia look at a little different setup on her return to serve. Seeing right there, Gebbia had everything. she couldn't ask for a more ideal setup, and that's where I think she's just got to pick a spot. She doesn't have to hit the ball that hard.
I think it was a very good drive. She just forgot that she was already so close up to the net and didn't have much room. The court was a lot shorter than when you're standing on the back of the court. Just a little adjustment there, she would have made that drive just fine.
Well, my point is only when there's a wide open space, and she had a wide open court, you don't need to overjuice your drive.
No. Limited
Game
time to
Delmonico,
react.
Gebbia, they lead 3
Small
games to
court.
love. Second set, they won the first set 6 games to 4.
So big momentum swing here, and I said when we started this set, there's a possibility of Gebbia and Delmonico steamrolling these guys, because you could just see, you know, there was for them probably a little bit of a tight first set there, and then they win that first set, pressure's off, they can kind of they get freed up with some of their shots, and you know, here's Gebbia to serve, up 6-4, 3-love. I'm Patty Hogan with Mirta Molenveld. We are in Glenview, at the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, for yet another phenomenal Chicago Nationals. Kudos to John Noble and the entire team. Jason Love, our director of rackets here, doing everything above and beyond to make this a great event for all the players and all the fans. I don't know, if I was a Glenview Club, I would give this guy a raise. He's done such an amazing job. Every time I come to town, he is rock solid. I'd go like 15% raise, maybe 20.
He's willing to negotiate.
I'm willing to negotiate on his behalf.
As a player in many of these tournaments, I must say Chicago always does an incredible job of hosting the tournaments. They have it definitely figured out how to run incredible tournaments on all the aspects.
Well, they think of everything. I mean, there's nothing to chance. Oh, and this is another reason I love coming to Chicago. Sally Cunningham is in the house. And Joan Stulak, you'll be glad to know Mike arrived to watch some of this action. I think Sally and Mike were on the scouting committee for the potential next matchup for Delmonico Gebbia.
Love.
Delmonico and Gebbia just keep the pressure so high. They, you know.
So right now, what do you tell O'Sullivan and Alexandra? If you're in their ear, Mirta.
I think they gotta almost forget about the score a little bit and play 1 point at a time.
How do you feel about the pace of play as it's? I feel like this thing is speeding up, and speeding up is huge advantage to Delmonico Gebbia. It just feeds into the strengths of Lauren Gebbia, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that it comes down to maybe moving the lob around a little bit better, a little deeper, maybe moving around the height even a little bit to see if we can get some different looks there on the next shot coming in. But it's hard to do when they're hitting overheads, and Lauren has been hitting a good low overhead today, not giving them as much driving opportunities. even take a little pace off of the overheads and getting it a little softer maybe into the screens. That's a smart overhead. Opposite of what I thought.
40,
But very
15.
smart.
Well, I think that was good recognition. Delmonico was kind of lulled and was kind of hanging out in the middle, kind of deep, and O'Sullivan picked up on that. You bring that heavy roller, that ball spins away from Carey, going toward that side screen. Tough to catch up to it. Delmonico didn't want that overhead. Do you think, Mirta?
No.
I always love when she takes her paddle back and Lauren will go to pull the trigger and Carey's there in disbelief.
40, 30.
That's a great duck from O'Sullivan. Just kind of got down low, let that ball just go off to her left. Talk about the volunteers. I just see the Van X out here. These guys, the Van X,
Delmonico, Gebbia.
they run Command
Lead
Central
4
from
games to
inside
love.
Mirta. I don't know if you've ever seen that room, but
Two ball.
they've got computers, printers. They take all the results
Two
from
ball, guess.
hundreds and hundreds of matches going on, and they're the ones who keep it all well organized. It's just a phenomenally well-oiled machine here in Chicago, thanks to Walton and DX.
Starting with a new ball, I think.
So O'Sullivan serving. They lost the first set, 6-4, down love 4. This would be a pretty good game for O'Sullivan to hold.
It's an important one.
It's an understatement.
Good volley. Very good volley.
15
Stayed nice
love.
and low. And
Shout out to the real paddle boy. R is enjoying the action, especially watching the Jersey girls, Delmonico and Gebbia. See, that's a great grip.
15
You know,
all.
she held it, she waited a little longer, and you could see there was just a yeah, and that's where she just got so juiced. She just wailed on that ball, and again, you've got to have a target in your sights. Aim somewhere near a target area.
I don't think so.
40, 15.
jamming her a little bit with that overhead. Smart.
What a combination there, you know. They
40,
showed
30.
They showed a different formation. Delmonico, Gebbia, I've seen it a million times. They pulled Gebbia up. Delmonico kept that return to serve low, and boom, Gebbia finished it off. Now Louise is smiling.
Smart to let that big forehand go instead of reaching for it.
Deuce.
They're all still smiling. This is always a good sign. You haven't had any discussions about any line calls or anything like that.
Advantage O'Sullivan.
Keo Turneroo won their first set, 7-6 tiebreaker against Caravaggio and Spitz in that round of 16 match.
Deuce. Advantage O'Sullivan. Deuce.
Yeah, not a lot of conviction with O'Sullivan. She had to keep going forward. She had any chance to come up with that Gebbia return to serve.
Another option at that time is just to maybe say, I'm going to stay back, I'm going to get the point started, and maybe find a way later in the point to take the net back. Not giving Gebbia that target on that first ball,
Advantage
because I think
O'Sullivan.
Gebbia gets better and better when she has a target. They are changing up their formation here. She did stay back.
Great spot drive right there.
Alexandre O'Sullivan. Delmonico Gebbia lead 4-1, second set. They won the first set 6-4.
The 2022-2023 APTA Tour is brought to you by Remedy Plus. When you need that extra boost on the paddle court, grab a great tasting, body fueling Remedy Plus bar and Remedy Plus shot. Fuel your body right with Remedy Plus.
Kira Delmonico serving, up 4-1 second set. Delmonico Gebbia won the first set, 6-4. I'm Patty Hogan along with Mirta Molenveld, calling action round of 16 Women Nationals, the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois.
Something I noticed in the last couple games is that O'Sullivan is driving, but has almost taken off a little bit of her pace of her drive. I think just to make sure that she's making it.
Nice hands all around.
Nice, good point, guys.
15 all.
Great serve.
I think Gebbia's got to be careful here. She's hitting a lot of forehand volleys when she's the player to the right. And sometimes it shifts the play over where I wouldn't mind seeing her play a few more backhand volleys. Just hit the ball straight back to O'Sullivan and let Delmonico just continue to kind of do her thing with her overhead variety.
Both knowing their roles so well, if they
Right, I think when the switch of sides comes from Delmonico as the overhead person, I'll call it, I like how they defend all the shots after that. I think when the switch comes up from Gebbia hitting from the player to the right over toward that discord, that can lead to a little bit of, uncertainty for the next shot.
good over. That was a great pickup.
Wow. Georgia, great catch.
And Delmonico just, took it right at
30-15.
Georgie Alexander on that play. And Georgie was a little jumpy. I mean, that's where, if anything, you've got to get shorter at that moment, not taller.
Alexandra's a tall girl, and I know from my own experience that when you're quite tall, you want to really make sure you stay low, because otherwise you start
30
jumping
all.
up and hitting potential balls that are going to be going out, going over that shoulder and flying out if you start popping up when you're getting too straight on your legs.
So again, you see the switch, always to get Kerry Delmonico as the player to the left for the team of Delmonico and Gebbia at the net. See right there, I like that play where Gebbia 2 in a row right back to O'Sullivan, and then the play will come right to Delmonico.
It's a great lob.
Uh-oh, see that's a little bit dangerous. Good swing from Alexander there.
Alexander was sneaking over just a little bit to try and help out
good.
O'Sullivan.
Mircha, if this match ends pretty soon, don't worry. We've got more action coming your way. We have bonus coverage. We're going to show as much as we can here on the APTA network on eNet Live.
Great shot.
Game Delmonico. Gebbia, they lead 5-1, second set.
Don't touch it. It's good. Yes.
15 love.
Get it back right now.
Lauren does that so well. She hits a
15
big
all.
drive. You can hear it's on the paddle, the sound, and she follows it in. And so little time to react when that second ball comes in.
15-30. All.
It's a great
40-30.
return and good recognition by Gebbia closing in on that shot. We have a first match point, I believe.
Game Alexandre O'Sullivan.
Deuce.
Sorry, Deuce.
So they saved one match point.
Advantage Gebbia. Deuce.
Gebbia did everything right on that. Just, I mean, that just gives you an idea of the pressure that she just puts on her opponents.
She will not back away from that play. She's going to continue to do that, knowing that she's going to win a lot more points than lose on that play. That's 2 match points.
Advantage, Alexandre. Deuce.
Shout out to Sue Tarzan, a great player from Long Island, a finalist with Carrie Flynn in the Nationals long ago in Pittsburgh, where they went out to the Ovas. Anna Brazova, Vicky Stokosova went into the Hall of Fame last year. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, kudos to Bill O'Brien, one of Chicago's finest, one of the greatest guys I've ever met in the sport of platform tennis. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame last night. Beautiful ceremony for Bill. So fun. He was surrounded by his family and friends. Just a joyful night in Chicago to honor the one and only Bill O'Brien.
Great point and forcing a falling
Advantage,
error by
Gebbia.
making her reach for it.
Match point number 2?
3.
3. Sometimes they go so fast I miss one.
There you go. That sound of that drive.
It hurt me in here.
Delmonico Gebbia, they win the second set 6-1. They win the match 2-0.
So real strong showing from our tournament number 5 seeds, Mirta, Carrie Delmonico and Lauren Gebbia, and kudos to Gussie and Gussie O'Sullivan and Alexandre. They had a really strong set. I hope they draw a lot of positive from that first set. It was great. Second set, Gebbia and Delmonico just steamrolled. They had no shot. And we will be, Mirta, we're going to come right back. That's a wrap here from the women's round of 16 action from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. We'll be back for more round of 16 action shortly.
There you have it, your APTA National Champions.
Best match of the year.
Brilliant shot.
Incredible stuff. And it's sitting up and he's right there.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, bringing you the 2023 APTA Chicago Nationals, which is the 13th and last stop on the 2022-23 APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus, sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Paddle Pro Infusion, and local sponsors, Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, Wintrust, and Viking. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Netherlands' #1 player, Mirta Molenveld, bringing you another round of 16 action between Liz Cruz and Marcella Rodesno, and they're up against Chicago's very own Hallie Bodman and Chelsea Middle. Lauren, can you tell us, can you say who's who in the court and tell everybody where who's who?
So on the far side, on the ad side, with the gray visor.
What court?
On the far side, on the ad side, with the gray visor, we've got Marcella Rodesno playing with Liz Cruz on the do side with the white visor. They're both wearing a black pants and pink sweater, so the visors are the difference there. On this side of the court, on the do side, with the blue shirt underneath her sweater, we got Chelsea Middle. And on the ad sides, with the funky pants, we've got Hallie Bodman.
Those pants are Carrie Delmonico's, aren't they?
They could be. They could be.
Let's take a quick look at the draw.
So they are in the lower part. The winner of this match will be playing against the winner of Morgan Sikora and Besonova and Lopez, who are probably on the court starting shortly as well.
I'm gonna announce you guys. Oh, you just.
Do you guys want to serve from over here? I don't care. Well, I'm just here. So.
This match is the best 2 out of 3 sets regular scoring. And we are in for a treat here. Cruz Rodesno, childhood friends from El Salvador, highest ranking team in the sport in paddle history from El Salvador. I'm pretty confident I've got the facts right on that one. Liz Cruz moved from the Patterson Club in Connecticut out here to Saddle and Cycle, and just a tremendous addition to an already amazing pro community out here in Chicago. And Liz has fit right in, and loving living in the Midwest, loving living back near her twin sister. And they are, you know, Marcella and Liz played a decent amount of tournaments, just 4 this year, not a huge schedule because Liz played some tournaments with some other people. In Short Hills, they lost to Henderson Zabori 6-1 in the quarters in the third set. Boston, they lost also to Hanish Zabori in the semis. They had a good win in Boston over Delmonico Gebbia. Cleveland, Cruz and Rodesno lost to Morgan and Sikora in a 3-set battle. And in Chicago, in another 3-set battle, they went out in the quarters to Anika Nicolescu. Cruz won Medina with Jacqueline Williamson. Cruz played with Jessica Guillot. They lost in the finals of Birchwood to Morgan and Sikora. Cruz also has been very busy this year, not only with a new job, new school system for her kids, but she also played the Philly cricket event, and she lost in the semis there, and she played with Roxy and Nika. So as you will see in the women's game, all these players know each other. They rotate around. They take turns. Who takes a year or 2 off? Then they come back in the mix. They know each other's games well. They pick up with another partner, and boom, right at the top of the game, here we have Cruz and Redesno. Their opponents today, we've got Chelsea Middle and Hallie Bodman, Chicago's own, and Chelsea made it to the finals in the 2013 National Championships. She ended up losing that match, but she got to play that with Hall of Famer Mary Doden, who Chelsea, when she went as Chelsea Nuzlocke, had a ton of success with Mary, and they had some real nice tournament wins. And Chelsea and Hallie have played together forever. They enjoy each other's time out on the court. In the summer, they spend their off season. They're synchronized swimmers. I hear them working on new dives for the upcoming season. A lot of people play pickle, but these guys are working on their synchronized diving and swimming technique. I mean, they like to stay cool, and that's one way to do it.
You know,
and if you believe anything I say today, no, we get to make up some stuff, and just because it's Hallie Bodman, I mean, who has more fun on a paddle court than Hallie? She's a big hitter, pure ball striker, goes for it. We won't see, I don't think we're going to see Bodman and Middle as the ones extending points and slowing down the tempo of play here, Mirta. What do you think we're going to see?
No, I think Chelsea might occasionally slow it down a little bit more than Hallie. Hallie has such good ground strokes, and she likes to hit it hard, and you know, it's the decent weather for it for sure. In a hot day, the balls might sit out the screens a little bit more. But you know, her drives it's a good day for her drives today, and you know, Liz and Marcella are so steady.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is best of 3 sets with tiebreakers. To my left, from Wilmette, Illinois, Liz Cruz. And her partner from Monroe, Connecticut, Marcella Radenzo.
That's legit.
To my right, from Northbrook, Illinois, Hallie Bodman.
Yeah.
Woo! I'll give you some love. From Lake Forest, Illinois, Chelsea Mattel. Cruz Radenzo won the toss and chose to defer.
Yeah, so we talk about different styles of play. Cruz, Redesno, I mean, they are methodical, super steady. If they play a long point, it doesn't faze them. If they have to play even a longer point, they don't care. Where the length of the points, I think, will be one of the issues in this matchup. We're going to see a lot of firepower from Bodman and Middle, and then we'll just see, you know, the disciplined approach that I would fully expect from Cruz and Redesno. Talk about synchronized swimmers. They're synchronized jumpers out there. They've got their matching outfits.
I know. Black leggings, big sweatshirt.
Yeah, okay, I'm down with it. No, I think that's always right. We'll make it right today.
Last event Middle and Bodman played was the Bourbon Ball, where they lost in the semis to Holomaturka, and that won 3 sets. We'll talk about their other results when we get into this match. Hallie Bodman to serve.
All right, have fun, guys. Have fun.
This match is going to be fascinating because you look at the team of Cruz Redesno.
Got it.
Redesno won Nationals in 2020 with Macy Medeiros. I mean, they had a win in Darien a couple of years ago. I don't know if you were there for an event, but such a phenomenally strong team. And the year before that, 2019, Liz Cruz was national champ with Gabby Nicolescu. They were national champs together in 18. And Liz Cruz was national champ in 2015 with Anna Brazova. So there's, you know, everybody's here gunning for that national title, and you have 2 women on the other side of the net who already have at least one. They're looking for one together. What a great story that would be for these childhood friends from El Salvador.
Love 30.
Cruz and Nicolescu, with the current top players, they have each won 3 national titles together and with other people. Bobman in the middle played the charities event here in the fall. They lost in the 16s to Anika Nicolescu. Not a close match there. They played the cabin feeder event where they won that event pretty easily. They're the cream of the crop in that event. They played Birchwood, lost in the semis to Cruz, who teamed up in that event with Gio. And they played in Hinsdale, where they lost in the semis to Cruz and Allison Morgan. So you get the theme here. Cruz and anyone, Mirta.
Cruz is such a all-round
15,
player.
30.
She can play with anybody, and she adapts well. They just got a little overrule on one of the calls.
15-40.
I believe about 5 years ago, Cruz and Rodesno actually played together before they had any national titles. And they both had some children along the way. And now they're back together. It's nice to see that.
Got it.
30-40.
Expect to see a lot of that. Liz Cruz lobs exceptionally well out of that deuce court, understands how to open up the court, and then looking for Rodesno to deliver the knockout punch. She just didn't come up with that forehand.
That's a great pickup.
Game, Cruz, Rodenzo, they lead the first set, 1-0.
You know, that's going to be the thing. Cruz and Rodesno are real comfortable playing long points, putting a million balls back in play. Most of Bodman and Middle's play, I would say, revolves around maybe shorter points. You know, they're explosive. They like to take advantage of that, try to overpower and break down their opponents. But, you know, I think a team as strong as Marcella and Liz, it's tough to break them down. You know, they're just such good volleyers and they're position players. You'll see them form their wall at the net. You know, they have real fundamentally sound court coverage.
You know, Marcella is also so extremely fast that anything that goes by her, it's not over. So even if Bodman hits that big forehand or backhand, and Marcella will just go get it. It's not a problem for her, and she doesn't ever seem to get tired.
Yeah, you see the lengthy conversation here with Liz Cruz serving between Liz and Marcella, leaving nothing to chance and
Love
really trying to
15.
set themselves up before anything happens. Instead of being reactive type of players, they anticipate what's going to happen. They know what to expect with the firepower that they're facing here on these return of serves. And they're
Love
going to have
30.
to kind of talk through and really be on the same page to defend the return of serves. I would say that's probably Bodman and Middle's biggest weapons here.
15-30.
That's a very smart play to stay back and not having to deal with that first volley that is hard to control.
Yeah, and you see Cruz took that, set herself up. Some of Cruz's best offense comes off of the screens. Probably as much as any women in the game. A lot of these women are amazing ball strikers off the deck. Cruz has that ability to create things, opportunities for herself over and over and over again off of the screens as well. And you can see if she has a choice, she's letting the ball hit the screen to give herself time to, to really size up where her opponents are positioned and what shot she's going to hit next.
Game, 30-40.
What I saw right there out of Bodman, really sealing off.
Bodman, Patel, tied 1-1.
I like how she sealed off the middle. She saw the drive coming and she really stepped in. And she's a tall woman out there on that court, and she just stuffed that backhand volley. Nothing to it.
Lob 15. It was 15 all.
I mean, just quintessential lob from Liz Cruz right there. Recognized what she had position-wise, and Hallie's every bit of 6 feet tall, and Liz just beautifully placed a lob with the perfect pace and depth to win the point. How many times do we say she won the point with a lob? It's rare.
30 all.
A lob is going to be setting up, a good lob is going to set up your next shot, your offense, and Liz will do a good job with moving that lob around to create the next shot that she's looking for. Great close by middle. Very, very smart.
40-30. Game. Bodman, the top, Mattel, they lead the first set 2-1.
So Merit, as you know, last weekend we had Junior Nationals, and the greatest thing was we had some teams representing from Chicagoland who came all the way to New Jersey for Junior Nationals last week. And I'm bringing that up because Chelsea Nuzlocke, middle, is working with some of the kids. And, you know, I think she's back to teaching some paddle part-time.
15.
And I think she is teaching at Sunset Ridge Country Club, which is nearby. And kudos to her students, Arden and Regan, who played Junior Nationals. And they're twins, the Donnelly twins, and they had a great showing in Junior Nationals, and kudos to Chelsea for getting involved.
I believe Chelsea took a year or two off when she had her own. I don't remember if she had a boy or a girl, but I know she's got a little one.
30.
Just got a little angel whispering in my ear saying she's got a 15-month-old boy. That's a great return.
30,
That one
40.
didn't sit up in the screens as high, and not going to able to retrieve that for Team El Salvador.
Came through in their round of 16 match, so they are on to the quarterfinals, and they await the winner of the Kyo Tunaroo Caravaggio Schviz match.
Bodeman, Vittel, they lead 3-1.
We saw Delmonico and Gebbia earn a berth in the quarterfinals, and they're going to come up against Kira and Maduris, who Kira and Maduris won their 16s earlier.
Love 15.
Samir, it's a great start to this match for the Chicago team.
They've been volleying well. I think Cruz and Rodesna are trying to figure out, because they do hit some different shots. That is Bodman and middle, just trying to get their rhythm going, as it's a very opposite ball, a fast flat ball coming from Bodman, and a little slower from middle, and just trying to settle in. And
50, love 30.
Interesting point there. You know, Bodman thought the ball was going out and was ready to call it out, and Miller was right next to it, continued play, so everybody just kept going. Wish for 1 hour of my life I got to be Hallie Bodman's height and could hit overheads from the 6-foot mark.
with a smile on her face.
I was smiling the whole time.
$15.30.
You know, it's interesting. Since I've played with Hallie a bunch in the past, she has not changed her paddle yet in all these years. I think she got all the last paddles of Harrow.
Yeah, nice ball, Marcella.
15.40.
You know, she loves that paddle, and I think there's only one kind out there.
Yeah, but when you get used to something and you like it, it's hard for Hallie to let go. that.
Game, Cruz, Rodezno, excuse me. Bowman, Patel lead the first set 3 games to 2.
So Bachman doesn't change her paddle because she's got 4 kids. She's got 2 girls, 2 boys. They need new gear all the time. So Hallie basically just takes a back seat, and really her purchases are more fashion oriented versus equipment.
Staying back.
I think it's a great call because Bobman's just teeing off the return and serve, as his middle. And I think Rodezno and Cruz are so comfortable playing from the baseline that no issue just to give up the net altogether just to get into the points.
Love 15.
Also staying back here. The only thing they changed here is this Cruz is playing this point from the outside, and
15 all.
That was a whoopsie. Chelsea went all in on that one. Just didn't come up with it. Great shot. You saw Rodezno, just how calm she is on the screens. Love that early paddle preparation from Marcela Rodezno there on the overhead. She takes her paddle and brings it all the way back, and you just see her kind of uncoil. What a beautiful stroke.
30-15.
Lisa Henderson wants to know. Lisa's from Troy, New York. She wants to know
40-15.
what's the advantage of lobbing high and deep versus just to the service line?
if you watch this match, you'll see that the further you get behind the service line, the fewer options you have with your overhead. Your court gets a little smaller the further back you get. I always like to think that.
Rodezno, first set tie 3-3.
I always like to think that you can only aim with your overhead to what you can see over the net. So the closer you are to the net, the more you can see, the more fun you can have. The further back you get, the deeper you get the people to hit the overheads, the more limited the choices are going to be. And hopefully maybe a shorter one comes in and you can create some driving opportunities.
I think for a lot of players in the game, Mirta, lobbing to the service line gets the job done. It backs up your opponents off the net and then opens up the front of the net for your drive. But with the top players in the world playing this, those lobs that just go to them around the service line don't really create, that many opportunities for the baseline team to get a look at something. So that's the importance, especially in the women's game, of more depth and height on that lob.
Love 15.
I feel a little slight shift in momentum here, Mirta. Do you feel it?
I do. There's a couple errors here. They started off volleying so well. They've missed a couple volleys, and maybe the luck is turning. But with some harder overheads, especially with Cruz and Rodezno, they don't mind letting it go to the screens, and they get that driving opportunity just as as they wish for. Because they're moving forward towards some of the harder overheads. And
Another awesome deep high lob.
15-30.
Clearly a little confusion between Bodman and Middle right there. And honestly, they just had to let that ball bounce. The ball was going to land close to the baseline. Easy ball off the back screen.
No, the heaters are on, right?
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, no, we just want this one.
it's the same spot as Rodesno hit that same lob a couple points ago, right in between them, causing a little confusion.
And that is one of the things that separates the top players in the game, the ability to communicate and coverage and defend those lobs in those spots. And if you haven't played a ton of tournaments and you haven't seen certain players who lob this well, it can be a little disconcerting. I've had a couple flyer misses on the overheads from Bodman Middle. I mean, those are the shots they love to tee off on. I don't think they need to make them so great.
No, especially knowing that Cruz and Rodesno will be hitting all of them coming off the screens. Doesn't matter what pace. Sometimes it's just wait for another one. Wait one more.
You can see Rodesno and Cruz in no rush to pull the trigger. They're so confident in their ability just to lob until they get the lob to the spot that's going to give them a great offensive look. Like that.
Game Cruz, Rodesno, they lead the first set 4-3.
Yeah, Bodman hung that shot up just a little too high. The perfect shot for Cruz to hit her down. You know, she hits down on that little forehand that she hits. And Cruz Rodesno, the first lead in the match, up 4-3.
That's right.
Round of 16 action from the Nationals. We're at the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Mirta Molenville and the one and only Arlene Frommer, who is our stat gal today, giving us lots of information behind the scenes, including shades of pink that look great on paddle players.
Yep. Got it.
Love 15.
This is a huge game for Bodman Middle right here. You know, they've had a couple of those loose overhead errors we referred to. They've got to keep it together here. And again, Rodesno Cruz, so comfortable from the baseline. If I'm Rodesno Cruz, why do I even go to the net in this match?
I am not disagreeing with you. It's their lobs are so good, and they want to play the slow points. They don't want to go in the fast points with them, and it's easier to control that from the back court with the lobs.
Love 30.
And there was a better move. You saw Bodman just move over to her right immediately. When that lob went up, she didn't want any confusion with Chelsea Middle on that one, so she did her team a favor and just got out of the way and made it really clear. She just physically moved out of the space.
It's a great spot to the left
15-30.
hip right there.
Yeah, Bodman got caught. She definitely got caught playing a little too close to the middle versus that's the single sideline over on that side of the court, and Rodesno just picked her pocket. Yeah, perfect overhead. Short lob from Rodesno, and Bodman's height just allowed her to hit that down up overhead, got the nick. Easy point.
Game.
We're tying it up.
Bodman, Mattel. First set tied 4-4.
Hallie Bodman to serve.
Excuse me. It's been 7 games. You guys want a new ball?
Oh.
New ball. Sure. Thank you. Thanks.
You're golf ball.
Yeah, do you mind if I take one? Thank you. See what we got. Yes.
And you see Cruz going back to that lobbing spot, little confusion. And then she just went for a little
15
too much.
love.
Where you see Hallie so tall, you sometimes want to get it behind her. And there's not much room behind Bodman.
No, and that's what Cruz and Rodesno, they're comfortable lobbing a ton, but they've got to hit an off-speed ball and get Bodman playing a little closer to the net, I think.
Do you think they should be throwing in a little drives here and there to get her to come up a little bit, or how would you do that?
I think they have to look to hit half speed, like sort of like a check swing, little push. You know, Cruz hits that real short backswing, real short follow through. Kind of like a chip shot. She chips lobs or chips low, and I think that's a shot that just can keep the net player honest. Wow, what a rip from middle.
30-15.
She learned that shot from Hall of Famer Mary Doughton, who had one of the best two-handed backhands in the game. Love the footwork
30 all.
from Rodesno. You see how much she moved herself. She just moved out of the way to just create that crushing return of serve and just broke him down on the bottom.
Couple of big points here.
Sometimes, you know, when you're playing against a team like Bodman and Middle, where there is a height discrepancy, you know, a lot of people say, oh, lob the shorter one. But sometimes it's to your benefit to lob the taller one because of maybe the type of overhead that she hits. Maybe it's something a little bit more flat, let's call it.
You go.
30-40.
I mean, honestly, if you take away the overhead roller errors from Middle in this first set, right? Maybe she's had 4 now. You just can't afford that and pull out a set like this. And that's where I just think she's going for a little too much on that. She could just, the way she hits that ball, I love it. She just lets that ball drop, go right into either Marcella or Liz Cruz with that shot. Great serve from Bodman right there. And great footwork from Rodesno to follow that really hard hit overhead right up that side screen.
Marcella does not get tired. She'll get to every ball.
Oh my gosh, what a great pickup. Masterful shot from Cruz. That dipping ball. Great action here. 16s Nationals from Chicago. Beautiful lob. Cruz is sneaking over a little bit to the middle. She's got to watch out. Bodman could blast a ball.
I like the talking between Middle and Bodman.
Oh, they are talkers. Rodesno is a great listener. You can hear Cruz going up, up. She did not want Cruz to pull the trigger and try to drive that ball off the screen. Cruz just checked out, saw the position of Bodman Middle. There was no play on the drive, called it out for her partner. That's a pretty exceptional partner.
Game, Cruz, Rodenzno. They lead the first set 5-4.
So, Mirta, we called that. That's exactly what we're talking about. Cruz just kept them honest, and she just hit that little chip kind of low shot. And Bodman, I mean, just saw a ball the size of a basketball coming her way, and she just wanted that shot and just went for just a little too much again. Just sprayed that shot. So that's 5 sprayed shots Bodman has with middle in this first set. And that's the only difference. You know, Rodezno and Cruz dial in right away. They definitely prefer to play this match from the baseline. They love that matchup, and they are getting those overhead errors from Bodman and middle at the net. Liz Cruz to serve, up 5-4, first set.
Love 15.
Because Cruz and Rodezno are staying back, you see Ali Bodman in that deuce court just walked up to the service line.
15 all.
Right here, Bodman, Chelsea, middle, they like playing fast, but right now, don't go too fast. Now speed is against you when you're down 5-4 first set. You know, right now, if I had to take the pulse of one player in each team, and I take Bodman's, what do you think her heart rate is right now compared to Rodezno's? It's probably 40 beats a minute faster. Maybe not 40, but a lot.
You know, when you just watch it, it's one team trying to speed it up and the other one trying to really slow it down, and doing everything very simple but efficient. Cruz and Rodezno are just really looking not to be the last one touching the ball, and by moving that lob around and looking to force a mistake.
I call it ultra disciplined play.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, until they get the perfect shot, they're not going to go for it.
Disciplined point on both sides of the court right now. They know the importance of the score, and
Winner of this match will play the winner of Besanova Lopez Morgan Sakura match. In the top half of the draw, Hannah Sabori have a quarterfinal opponent, and it's Kiyu and Turnero, who took out Caravaggio and Sviz.
30-15.
Cruz and Rodezno staying back, both staying back on the same side of the net. Great strategy. This way it just positions Marcela Rodezno, who typically plays in the ad court, on the ad court side, leaving nothing to chance.
missed overhead.
30 all.
Thank you.
I'm shocked. Marcela Redesno missed a screen. Doesn't happen often.
No.
Got it.
It was a great call for help, and Cruz was right there.
30 40.
Thank you. Got it. What?
See,
Game. Bodman. Mattel. First set.
Thank you.
Tied 5 games to 5.
you know, right there, Chelsea Middle just put the ball back in play, hit it cross court right to Marcella's forehand. And the ball had nothing on it. I think Marcella Redesno should have taken a rip on that forehand. She's not going to get that many. She's not getting a ton of looks on her forehand. That was a gift. And she passed it up and threw up a lob and paid the price.
15 love.
So that's why I don't think you can do the same thing all the time. You've got to keep adjusting your shots. You have to kind of keep your shot count. You have to be aware of what you're doing because you've got to keep your opponents just guessing a little bit more position-wise than sometimes
all.
what happens with Redesno Cruz. That's Chelsea Middle serving, and Liz Cruz hitting the return. See, and even Cruz just kind of lobbed that ball right to a 6-foot Hallie Bodman right there. I don't think that's a great way to get into the point. I think she should be more purposeful. If she's going to throw up the lob, great. Throw it up more down the line or throw it up more cross court.
They're lobs.
Yeah.
30-15.
You know, I think that they're doing a pretty good job of lobbing a lot of balls. I think it becomes a little predictable at times for Middle and Bodman.
30 all.
Like to see them keep them on their toes a little bit more and maybe getting them hitting some overheads on their back foot maybe and forcing a mistake on that. They're not missing any overheads because I don't think they're, you know, there's not been that many drives to pull them back in. They both a little bit more on the service line. That's a good ball.
See, Cruz can bring the offense.
30-40.
And I just think for them as a team, providing that little spark from time to time.
It doesn't have to be a big drive, but just to change them, to get them to come up a little bit and close in and add.
You gotta make them pay. Like the only way you're gonna earn a berth in the quarterfinals is if you go after it. And you don't know how many opportunities you're gonna get, so when you get it, you gotta take it. Really good hands from Chelsea Middle handling that turn of serve from Redesno. I think if if she's the recipient of a really hard side back overhead from Bodman, she should just let it go right through to Cruz. I don't think it does Marcella any good to be chasing that ball and moving toward the middle against these guys.
Knowing Cruz, she would be there ready for it. She knows the game as well as anybody.
And you can see she always trails the play. She's always looking in case the ball would shoot out of that corner.
No. I agree. Game. Cruz. Redesno. They lead the first set 6 games to 5.
No one in the Bodman household is happy with that miss, let alone Mama Bear. You know, Missed opportunity. Great first set. They're right in here. And I just think just the overhead errors, again, it's the only difference out here in this match. So we're 6-5. First set. Marcela Redesno to serve.
I believe they probably will stay back right away.
Sure. Automatic staying back. This time with Cruz to her right because she plays the deuce court. And then Marcela just glides over that ad court and rinse repeat. We're going to play the same point again and again and again. Cruz Redesno, hope it ends, in an overhead error.
Oh, yeah.
What a great look
15
from
love.
middle. I love that shot. She had it lined up beautifully with her two-hander.
She's made a bunch of those today, so I think she should continue to look for that shot when she gets it. It's just been a couple games since she's been on the back court and haven't seen any of those shots.
Here you go. Here you go, yeah. Got it. Here you go. You.
30 love.
That's a credit when you give somebody so many overheads to hit. Eventually, it's hard to make them, all of them.
Yeah.
40 love.
No, what is that?
Game. Cruz, Ledesno, they win the first set, 7-5.
We will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're in the round of 16 action from the Ladies Nationals from Glenview Club in Guelph, Illinois. I'm Patty Hogan with Mirta Mullenveld, and we just had a great first set won by Cruz and Redesno, 7-5 over Chicago's very own Bodman and Middle. And we talked about it the whole set. Nothing separated these teams except one thing, overheads. And I think Bodman and Middle, I think they had 8 overhead errors where, Mirta, when you and I got into the game, I mean, I know you and I were told the same thing. Don't miss an overhead ever. You got to, it's one of the constants. You got to learn to play the screens. You got to learn to make your overheads. You're going to miss some volleys and some drives from time to time, but the overheads have to be a done deal, and it's really the only difference here. And Middle and Bodman go big on their overheads, so their shots do have a little bit more risk. A lot of power, not always a ton of spin. And, to Cruz and Redesno's credit, it's their lobbing is just forcing these guys in really tough positions.
Love 15.
Chelsea didn't like that. She's leaving. She just wants this match to start again. So she's just going to walk out the door.
How did it get out there?
I don't even know what happened.
She went to chase the ball. Okay, she's back.
You're like electric.
Look at that. She's got a whole new attitude. She feels much lighter since she left.
It was a quick break. because Cruz and Rodesno are making them hit so many overheads, and eventually they're looking to do maybe a little bit more, and I think that's where the errors have kind of come from, because there's always one more coming, and you know it from them. Playing against them myself, you know it's coming, one more. Nothing is easy.
And I think part of the issue, well, right there, I just saw it out of middle. She let that ball drop and kind of hit a little slice cutter. I think that's the shot they need to hit more. And, you know, not loaded up with a ton of pace, but just that shot, keep the ball low. It's not going to be as easy for Rodesno to lob so well off that lower bouncing ball.
Yes.
And Bodman, you know, doesn't really hit that kind of overhead. Every overhead Bodman hits is well above her head, you know, stretching out to like the 9-foot mark because of her height.
Bodman has been cutting it quite close with some of her overheads. You know.
Love 30.
And just right there, Myrta, just a little too much movement from middle. You know, Cruz went over, she hit her shot. Middle was over there. She just has to hold her ground for 1 second. No movement, no footwork. Assume a position. Now come up with your hands volley. But if your feet are moving and your paddle's moving, and Mo Morrison's in town, watch out. There's trouble. Critical moment in the match here, you know, for Bodman and middle, you know, just disappointing, but
wow,
you just want them to battle. You know, they have so many, they're doing so many things so well out here, and it's just a fun contrast in styles in this matchup.
Cruz and Rodesno are not even looking to really take the net.
See, Marcella took a rip in that point earlier, and you saw middle just hold her ground and just went low and controlled it. Real quiet feet, quiet hands.
That's hard to do.
$30 all.
And see, that's why Bodman does what she does with her overheads, because it creates so many opportunities. It opens up the court, and she starts this great foot race. And even with the speed of Rodesno, she couldn't quite get a handle on that one. That's why Bodman's just going to keep ripping her overheads, because it does work out well for her more than half the time, I would say.
In this game, she got two points on that big overhead where she created a little chaos on the other side, and she'll have to wait for a shorter overhead shorter lob in order to hit that overhead again. Cruz was right there waiting for it.
On your left, yeah.
Oh!
Game. Bodman. Mattel. They lead the second set 1-0. Cruz. Rodesno won the first set 7-5.
I mean, have you ever hit an overhead that just did that? Because I never in my life even could imagine hitting that shot. I mean, it just hit and went all the way across the court.
That is something I have not seen very often. The sound of the ball leaving her paddle. It's incredible.
Liz Cruz serving. Hallie Bodman hitting the return. So I'll be curious to see if Cruz Redesno adjust to any of their tactics, given that they're just a little, you know, they're only down one game in this.
15
but,
love.
You know, will there be any adjustment? I don't really think so. I don't think they have to make any adjustments at this point.
I don't think they're worried yet. They just know it's going to be a long match, and you know they're going to have to stay back and lob, and they're willing to do that. They will never. They have no problem doing that. There it is. This is the first time they're at
30 love.
El Salvador is cheering on that. How about the footwork from Redesno in the ad court here? She's just constantly in motion.
We could ask her at the end of the match how many steps she got.
She's probably taken more steps in this match than we've taken a week.
There it is.
40 love.
Again, she loaded up, and that's the danger for Bodman. When she let that ball get a little lower, it's out of her comfort zone. She's much more comfortable, you know, striking the ball well above her head.
She knows she's been winning some points with that, so she's looking to hit it even more, I think.
You can see Bodman middle are doing a great job with their return of serves. They're not going for anything great. They're just making sure they put the ball in the court, because Cruz and Redesno are just giving them wide open, you know, court to hit the return.
Would you think at that moment in time when they've been staying back so long to occasionally throw one
40-15,
throw a serve in and follow it up and maybe take the nets, because their returns haven't been so big because they don't need to be as big when they're constantly staying back?
Yeah, I think it's an element of surprise. You can kind of, that's certainly an option. You just throw a little bit of a different move in. But I don't know. I just think I wouldn't give, if I'm Cruz and Redesno, they just don't want to lose points, you know, on the return of serves any which way from, you know, Bodman and middle, because that's their strength. So they're just removing it all together from the match. Another nick.
40-30.
The only way to avoid that is to continue to lob a little higher and a little bit deeper so she doesn't have that shot.
Shout out to everybody watching from Pittsburgh. Some of my favorite people live in Pittsburgh, Mirta.
Tell me about them.
I mean, it would take me so long.
Game, Cruz, Redesno. Second set tied 1-1.
I had the opportunity when I competed a lot. I'd go out to Pittsburgh, do some paddle camps, got to know a lot of the players out there out of the Edgeworth Club, and just thoroughly enjoyed my time out there. One of the greatest paddle tournaments I ever played, the old SIP tournament. I remember playing with my old partner, Hillary Debs. We went out for one crazy Pittsburgh weekend. And I was telling Anthony Cosmano today, it was the next morning was the first time in my life I had a cup of coffee, because I needed it.
Do you still drink coffee?
I still drink coffee.
Love.
You could just see the positive energy between Redesno and Cruz at all times. honestly, whether they're winning or losing, they really do stay on the same page together as a team. That's why I love, big fan of them as a team.
You'll never know if they're winning or losing based on their body language.
15 all.
So my Pittsburgh shout out, Mirta. I'm ready for it now. It includes shout out to
15-30.
Kelly, Pilar, Natalie, Ross, Wes, Nellie, just so many fun people in that Sewickley area, and they just love paddle. They love the live stream, and I hear they like listening to you, Mirta, a lot.
Oh, well, I'm happy to be here.
15-40.
I did get some messages a little bit ago from some of my Birmingham Athletic Club members saying, love your commentating, but would rather see you play.
Well, you know, we'd always rather be playing in these events, but when you can't play, it's pretty cool to have a front row seat here. Get treated by royalty, by eNet Live, and enjoy all the action throughout the Nationals weekend.
It's one of the first few points, and they're both back at the net.
Oh boy.
She's laughing about it herself.
Ledesma.
I thought Hallie would
They
give me.
lead the second set 2-1.
I thought she was going to give us
They
a
won
look
the
after that
first
shot.
game 7-5.
Oh, thanks, babe.
So she may be using an old paddle that's no longer made, but clearly it's still got some juice in
It's
it.
been 7 games. If
Too
you guys
much
want
juice.
another ball. It's been said like every 7 games exchange if you want.
Shout out to Sally Cottingham, official ball woman and water woman for the team of Bodwin Middle here during these national championships. I look out in the parking lot, I see Mike Cochran, who's playing this event with John Lubau. I see the one and only Rich Mayer, Hall of Famer, part of the induction last night for Bill O'Brien. Great to see Richie come in from Atlanta for this event.
Go back.
Love 15.
Richie, one of the winningest teams ever in the sport of platform tennis with Steve Baird.
You go. Got it. You. Yeah. You. Got it. You. Got it.
Nice play by Cruz. You could see how she held her paddle, just waited, tracked that ball down up that side screen, waited forever, let that ball just drop. Another effortless lob.
Okay.
15 all.
Where are we?
15 all.
So Mirta, if you're Bodman and Middle right now, what are you thinking as a team?
I would say that I would tell my partner that stay patient. Let's wait for the little shorter overhead to do something.
15-30.
Let's create the chaos at the right time. not a whole lot of worries about too many drives coming, so let's just wait for the right one to do a little bit more. And I would say they're doing a great job with that.
You. Got it. You.
Hallie Bachman usually likes the shorter points, but she's been hanging in there as long as anybody today.
Got it.
Very patient.
Well, she has no choice but to be patient against the team of Cruz Redesno. They demand it of you if you're going to stay in a match with them.
30 all.
Nice ball. You go.
30, 40.
That's a great long point
Juice.
on a big moment.
Really good transition play, and
Great point, you guys.
Cruz, I mean, well played shot, just came out firing.
Come on, come on, come on.
See, Cruz can bring it, and Redesno can bring it, but they're the ultra disciplined team because if they bring it too soon, then it lets the pace of play get dictated more by Bodman and Middle.
I actually would like to see them hit a little bit more overheads, maybe even to Liz Cruz, more than one at a time.
You mean try to break her down, like a pick and stick, just try to go cruise, 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 instead of mixing it up.
They've been going most balls to Redesno on the ad side, and they bring one to Liz Cruz on the do side, and they bring it back. I'd like to see maybe a couple more overheads going to Liz. It might be a little risk reward, but
Rich, how many national championships have you played in? You know how many years you played?
Maybe about 7 of them total. I had a good run with Annika Cooper a couple years ago, playing in the pouring rain.
At Montclair.
Correct. I think it was a 3-hour semifinals match. A very fun one. It was against Liz Cruz actually and Gabi Nicolescu.
In the pouring rain, I remember it well. I was by the side of the score, keeping score, because they couldn't hear the umpire, I think, and we were relaying hand signals so that the viewers at home would know the score. Now that was one of my favorite women matches to watch in recent years.
Thank you. It was a fun one. It's different, for sure.
Oh, that way.
Add in.
Looks like she forced it a little bit. I feel like she was hearing me that I want her to change it, but maybe not on that one.
Game Cruz. Rodesno. Cruz Rodesno lead the second set 3-1.
You know, and it was a short lob, and Bodman had this great vision of this two-handed backhand, and she just didn't make it. Really, it was the ball of life for her. It's too bad.
She saw the ball quite big.
Yeah, so Bodman finds herself in a hole. The Bodman middle lost the first set 7-5, and they're in a little bit of a hole here, down 1-3 to Cruz Rodesno.
Yeah.
Winner of this match comes out to play either Morgan Sikora or Besanova and Lopez.
You go. Got it. Yeah, that's the shot, Chelsea.
15 love.
Really solid backhand volley right there. She just waited on it, got the depth, and Cruz just couldn't dig that one out.
Cruz is always there.
Wow, Cruz moving her grip way over, hitting a big roller. That's a new shot in her arsenal this year.
30 love.
We haven't seen him at the net a whole lot this match, so
Yeah, great pressure from middle right there.
Yep.
30-15.
Kelly!
30 all.
Yeah, right here, key moment. obviously they're getting their looks. I think they just have to understand the score and the situation and decide on how hard they have to hit the ball, or maybe just take something off it and just keep the point going.
It's a well-placed
40,
overhead.
30.
Nice get by Liz Cruz there. Verdesno throwing up a lob to get her back home.
Deuce.
Like I said, crucial point here. And Bodman and Middle as a team have to kind of keep it together here. Embrace playing some long points, because you look up at your opponents and you know you're going to have to. If you want to come back and pull this match out, they have to embrace the longer points.
Add in.
Great footwork from Marcella Redesner. Just created an amazingly offensive return to serve right there.
Out.
Middle had to bail there. Bodman's overhead just hung up on that back screen. You saw Redesno winding up. Just Chelsea would be well served just to bail.
I would agree. She either had to really commit to staying up or saying see you later.
I just watched Bodman and Middle on that overhead, and I thought that someone was going to get hit in the head on that one. Again, it was just that beautifully, those really deep lobs that would cause anybody to have confusion, and it's definitely a huge part of Redesno and Cruz's lead here in this match.
That's Steve.
get about 5 seconds, there will be a big smile again.
Yeah.
Got it. You go. You go. Oh!
And out.
How many overheads have Rodezno and Cruz missed in this match? And how many overheads have Middle and Bodman missed? So 0 for Cruz and Rodezno. 0, seriously. And maybe Bodman, Middle. What do you think? Are we about
Cruz,
15, 16?
Rodenzno, they lead the first set 4-1. Cruz Rodenzno won the first set 7-5.
You can answer honestly. We're not being negative. We're just it's about our comments are data driven, and we just talked about that. Just like what separates these guys, and the only thing in that first set were the overhead errors here. And as this match has played out, it's just a super disciplined play from Cruz Rodezno. 8 million lobs have resulted in, you know, Bodman and Middle having to hit 1 million overheads, and they've made 900.
They probably made 99.9%.
Right, all but 16. Round of 16 action from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. 17.
15 love.
It almost looked that they were trying to go to Cruz a little bit more in the overheads, and then they may have changed their mind a little bit again. They have to stay very disciplined right now the next couple points if they want to.
Right. And they're looking up and they're looking like, oh my lord, look at Cruz and Rodezno over there. They look super fresh in their matching outfits, and they've got a ton of footwork, and they've got a huge bounce to their step out here.
Stop.
30 love.
It just seems like Bodman and Middle just don't have that other overhead, that, you know, like that little slash kind of shot that I think would be tremendously helpful for them to control the net and just get more balls low to Cruz and Rodezno.
I do like this roller that Middle is adding.
What great teamwork right there. Good communication.
Aquí. Nice shot.
30-15.
Middle is so dialed in right here, Berta, and just the look on her face, you could just feel her intensity out here.
She definitely is realizing the importance of every point right now. It's an important point coming up to stay in this match.
Bodmin's overheads. I'm sure that against 95% of the women's teams they play against, those shots are tremendously impactful. But that's the difference when you're playing one of the top teams in the country right here. They can take away your weapons.
Screens are, if you know your screens like Rodesno and Cruz, it's such an equalizer.
Deuce.
That's a big point. Every point's a big point, but you could kind of feel like all of a sudden I could just feel a little energy go out of Middle and Bodmin right there. There's no screenplay in this match. Could be an instructional video. How to play the screen. Set your paddle early, keep moving your feet, just wait, chase it down. She's doing a phenomenal job controlling the tempo in this match.
Add out. Just phenomenal play here from both teams.
Wow, great coverage.
James, Bodman, Mattel, Cruz, Rodenzo leads the first set 4-2.
Okay, you see how hard Bodmin and Middle had to work to win that game? I mean, that was incredible. Great action. Great action from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. That's Chelsea Middle serving, down 2-4.
Love 15.
Some great gets in the corner by Rodesno. That was a great pace on the
15
drive.
all.
¡Vamos!
15-30.
Whatever Liz Cruz just said, I agree.
Venga, 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 venga.
30 all. Nope. Yes.
Esta es. Te doy esta. Got it. Okay.
I think in the set, Patty, neither one of the players have missed a serve or return in these 6 games that have been played.
Interesting.
But I could be off.
Dale, dale, dale.
What a stuff volley from Bodman right there. She kind of fed Rodesner the shot.
40-30.
She wanted her to drive that ball so she could close in. She kind of, you know, I think that Bodman's probably seen all the lobs she ever needs to see. And so sometimes you'll hang a shot up, you know,
Deuce.
teeing someone up for an offensive drive on purpose, kind of reel them into what you want.
Thank you.
Add out.
See, again, you know, had she made it, she was just going to switch the play to the other side of the net. I'm not sure that was the smartest shot even to go for right there. And again, if she's already over there, Meritif, she just volleys that ball straight ahead. She doesn't miss it, and they don't need to keep moving to make another adjustment for the next shot.
So limited time, too.
Wow. Great rip.
Game,
Rodesno.
Cruz. Rodesno. They lead the second set 5-2. They won the first set 7-5.
See, there just saw tremendous pressure from Rodesno on the Bodman volley, and you know we saw Bodman earlier in this game just go and stuff a volley for an absolute winner. There she kind of was back on her heels, and then that dipping ball just dipped a little bit too low. She couldn't come up with the volley.
5-2.
We have Marcela Rodesno trying to serve out the match here, and a berth into the quarterfinals later this evening for a 7 o'clock match, in theory.
You got it.
Tomorrow the women play the semis and the finals tomorrow night. The finals will be 7 o'clock under the lights on Saturday night.
It looks like the first quarterfinal match. They're warming up. They're about ready to start.
That's a great close from Odman right there. She knew the drive was coming in. She just closed in, kept her paddle a little bit above the net.
Watch out!
This is a great match to watch. Really fun, really entertaining.
Love.
They couldn't read that as early as they would have liked to.
What do we got?
15 love.
Got it.
15 all.
She would like that ball one more time.
Marcella just showed her the motion she would like Liz to have used on that last swing.
15 all.
15.
Again, Rodezno Crew played the entire match from the baseline here, very successfully, I might add. They
You got that.
have just hit their 1 millionth lob in this match. Thanks for counting, Myrta.
You go, yeah.
Got a tally going.
Yeah.
They have not missed the lob either.
Again, just look at that sequence of shots that between Cruz and Rodezno.
30-15.
Got the teamwork, the lob opened up the court. They were able to capitalize. for Cruz
40-15.
Redesno for a berth in the quarterfinals. They'll play the winner of the Morgan Sikora Nova Lopez match.
Game,
That's it.
set, Cruz, Redesno. They won the first set 7-5, second set 6-2.
Yeah, so really entertaining, fun match.
That
Great
was a great
showing from the
match to
Chicago
watch.
team
Yeah,
here,
that was
and
fun.
we're going to wrap this up. Mirta, great job. That was really fun watching that play, and we'll wrap it up here, and then we'll be right back with more action from the Chicago Nationals at the Glenview Club.
Thank you, Patty.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your car, then fuel your body with Remedy Plus.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.